questions at Random Concept Global Gathering, go. In the music industry, I'm known as someone, love me or hate me, he says his fucking mind. I'm not showing you my meat and two veg. We've got more. But there's a skid mark there on the right cheek. It was that or a turds with black, but I swear that looked like a skid to me. You lot will know because she showed you the closest. What was that, an eclipse?
Just to clear up the fact that I haven't pooed myself, it wasn't a skid mark. There's a ladder in my tyres. And that's it, really.
Yeah, we actually had 3,000 people in there last night, and I didn't even know. Like, I actually got there because it's quite a deceiving club. Because sometimes you go there and the queue goes round the corner, and you're like, it's packed, and it is full in there. But the management won't go on tonight was particularly great or not. But last night when I got there wasn't like a big queue outside, and I went in and I thought it was fairly average. But when I was upstairs just before I left, Sean, who's like the sort of one of the managers of the club, come up to me, he's like, oh, great night, because they've lost Matter, and now Ram is like next week. So we're a week apart for a little while, which they were worried was going to upset the balance. But we had 3,000 people in there, so I'm happy. And this year is actually 10 years of Playaz at Fabric. October is our like 10th anniversary. I'm trying to get a compilation album, like a Dub Plate Killers album ready for it. We're having merchandise made for it, be a little celebration. We do our carnival special next month, which we've been doing for 10 years, and it's just ongoing. Well, at the moment, we was trying to schedule in a Dub Plate Killer 3 album to tie in with the 10th anniversary at Fabric, but it's timing, trying to get, like, I've got more than enough tracks, but I haven't sort of compiled it properly. I don't know if it's going to come out in time. The next release on Playaz before that will be Original Sin and Taxman. They've done like some tracks together on all different styles. They've got like a drum step, you know, the half tempo drum and bass. They've done a dubstep tune each. The dubstep tune Original Sin done, Casper and Rusko have been starting with it. I was in America, Rusko started with it. I was somewhere in the UK, Casper started with it. And that's just his like first dabble at it. We're not looking to be dubstep, but as an artist, if you can do it, I'll release it. You know, like I don't play dubstep, but that's because I'm good. I wouldn't say I would never do it, but at the moment I'm trying to keep the drum and bass thing alive. But if my artists make a different genre of music, we'll happily release it. So the EP is kind of like drum and bass, drum step, dubstep, all mixed up. That really should have been mastered and ready to go already, but because Original Sin's immigrated to Canada, and he was just moving house, so we were waiting for masters. But there's other stuff, you know, Hazard's in the lab doing his bit. Potential Bad Boys working on like a more reggae vibe album, more soulful, not so tear out, you know, like the sort of Room 1 smash it up. It's more radio friendly with all different vocalists. Crystal Clear's doing his smashes. Taxman kind of dabbling on the possibility of doing an album. Prolix is doing his stuff. Everyone's just working. Even I tried to get in the studio at the beginning of the year to do some stuff. I brought all the computer set up, but the problem for me is I just don't get the time, and I'm finding it very frustrating because every year I end an interview with you. Next year I'm in the studio, so I get some releases, and then I sort of go in early in the year and have a dabble, and then I end up getting booked up 5 million places and don't get to actually produce the way I'd like to. Well, I'll give you the whole story. I was against Serato because I'm a record label and we sell vinyl, and I'm trying to keep that, and vinyl is still a very important part of the sort of our level of underground music. To make any money for the artist, the vinyl sales is really where the bulk of the money comes in. So I'm trying to keep the vinyl alive. You know, I'm cussing everyone that's playing it. Also, the quality of Serato originally I didn't like. I'm still not mad on the quality, but it's getting better. But I go out every week, everyone else is playing CD, Serato. I think there's probably about 3 or 4 of us that play dub plates in the whole fucking industry, or especially in drum and bass. And I'm it's not the money, because I don't want to sound like, oh, I'm doing it for the money, because I'm not. Because I actually cussed quite a lot of DJs originally who switched early when they go, oh yeah, the money you save, and I'm like, but you're a big DJ, and as a DJ, it's not like you've got loads of expenses. We have petrol fucking money, dub plates, you know, if you're playing in the UK, you know, so I'm like, the dubs, it's not the money. But what was annoying is I'm spending all this money, turning up at a rave, the needles are jumping, the engineers these days don't cater for records, they don't. I stand there, I mean, you can ask Mark Lambert how many times I've stood there spitting blood where, fucking, what are you doing? I'm sitting there talking to an engineer like, have you not checked anything? You know, like, do that, the needle, blah, blah, blah. I mean, even to be fair, Ed Friction just now, because I use Serato, there's a mode that can stop it jumping, and I just keep it on that way. And when Ed went on, he was getting his first mix up, and I was putting his stuff away, and I actually, not on purpose, but stepped, and he was like, and I said, what, have I fucked the mix? I said, oh, sorry, because I know me, if someone does that to me, I go fucking mad, I go like violent, you know, like, so I was apologetic to him because I just forgot, because now I've got this Serato thing. I mean, I'm not a sales pitch for Serato, but for me as well, I'm more of a turntablist. I'm not DMC, I mean, I did that like 20 years ago, but what I was turning into is, because with dub plates, they're thick, and I do prefer, I must make this clear, I prefer the sound of a dub plate. The dub plate has got a much fatter, rounder sound. But what was happening is, you know, like Andy C and Friction, they just mix. I don't mix like that, but I mix. But I also scratch, I cut out, you know, and I couldn't do any of that with dub plates. So I'm going out and I've got all the kids going, why don't you scratch? And I'm like, I can just about mix after Clubsy Player, you know, because the engineers these days, the decks are second, you know, like. So what I did, I was in America, May, and I can't remember the name of the DJ, but I did this massive festival, and it was, I mean, it was amazing anyway. Like, if you go, I do a blog, and if you go to my July blog, you'll see like a little bit of footage. What happened is, the guy on before me, he was a house DJ, he wasn't playing drum and bass, and he was doing all stuff, which he had Serato, and he was playing, I mean, he doesn't go crazy, but he was doing little tricks, little things, and my MC, Daddy Earl, who comes with me around the world, was like, he just nudged me and was like, look what that guy's doing. And he's like, that's what you do, but you don't do it no more. And I'm like, I can't, innit, because of the dubs. And he's like, yeah, but if you had that, and I'm like, I know, but the vinyl, but I know, see, I was also trying to keep playing dub plates and vinyl. Don't come in, I'm half naked. Another reason why I wouldn't switch to Serato is I'm a record label, and I was really like, a lot of the it's not so much now, it's more like accepted, but you know, a couple of years ago, you'd sit there, you'd be around a load of producers and producer DJs and DJ DJs, and they'd all be moaning about record sales going down. But then I'd look at them and say, but you play CDs, and you play CDs, and you play Serato, so if you're not playing it, how the fuck can you imagine? So I'm trying to keep that vibe alive, but I'm a losing battle, you know, like, if it was like, if I could sustain it, I would, but like, if there's like 3 of us doing it, we've lost. So I was like, what am I doing here? And the combination of a losing battle for trying to keep the vinyl, we still sell vinyl, and I hope people will buy it still, but for me, you know, I can't do with dub plates what I want to do, and having that Serato thing, there's little tricks you can do. It's given me like a new little boost. I mean, I don't know if you was listening. There's little things I was doing that, you know, I'm still fine-tuned. I wouldn't sit and go, oh yeah, it was wicked. I'm learning it, but there's things you can do that I enjoy, and it gives me a little, you know, I was doing this little hip-hop thing. And it's stuff that I don't want to go too crazy on, because then it's like, well, you're not playing the music, and it's not cheating, because I'm not like, you know, like, it's not like you hit a button and it's all mixing. And about 2 weeks ago, I did the Dow Festival in Belgium, and I was on after Marky, because I've been cussing everyone up. So when I turned up, I said a bit, you know, I feel a bit like a paedophile, because the way people are acting, like I might as well have a sort of 4-year-old boy under my arm, you know, like, I'm like, it's a fucking, I'm like, mate, everyone else is doing it, so, you know, it's can't beat them, join them as well. But yeah, bottom line is, I'm enjoying it. You know, I can bring up old samples of mine and scratch them, I can make it more personal. So for me, I'm hoping it will enhance the set. But if you don't like it, fuck off, I'm sorry. I've tried to fight for vinyl for as long as I could. Yeah, mate, you know. Like when Valve did their sound system many moons ago, I was so jealous. And I told Carl Dillinger that. I was like, mate, I'd love to, because I started off with it. I've still got my original sound system from the early 80s, but you know, it's no good for now, but it works. So I've got into the sort of mind concept that I want to do a sound system because I'm so fed up of fucking engineers. I mean, tonight was okay, but where I have problems, that I'm like, I want to do my own one. And it's got to be right, so I'm not rushing it because I know if I came out and it ain't all that, you know, I'll be fucking
hyper-proved. It's got to be.
Well, it's got to be, otherwise, you know, like if I'm there, you're shit, you're shit, you're shit, and I come out and I'm shit, I'll just be like, it will do me more damage than good. So watch this space for the sound system. It's DJ Hype, fully clothed, watching underground TV.